let's get into wake-up conversations. If you're tuning in for the first time, we're streaming live on YouTube, so if you have to leave the house, you can take us with you on your devices and continue streaming. You can drop comments and we'll be taking them. Let's start off with our wake-up conversations, where reports have it that Conservative Party, they haven't really shown as much confidence in Kemi Badenoch. 46% of the party members believe she should support her, while the rest believe that about 50% believe she should not lead to the next general elections in 2029. Let me just run through a bit of the numbers. So 50% of Tory members believe she should not lead the party into the next general elections. 46% say she should be the candidate. Regarding her performance as leader, 61% view she's doing a good job, 37% disagree. 29% of respondents view her unfavorably. That's, of course, that they hold a negative perception, whereas about 70% hold a positive view overall. Now, if we're looking at popularity and fame data. Popularity and fame data, awareness. 83% of surveyed Britons have heard of her. Net popularity, 18% have a positive opinion, 35% have a negative opinion, remainder is neutral. So, when we're looking at who the Prime Minister in waiting is, a huge chunk of them believe that Kemi Badenoch is not the Prime Minister in waiting. And a number of reasons you would look at. Many people think it's not necessarily about Nigeria and her statements about Nigeria. But yes, of course, Nigerians might react a certain kind of way. More like when somebody who's been attacking you has had an issue, they might start to celebrate that. But it does not necessarily mean that Kemi Badenoch is out. Right, she has up until May 2026 to make a huge, tangible change. But this just affects, it's just talking about the opinion poll. And this is just an opinion, YouGov opinion poll. I mean, when it comes to the former Nigerian, Kemi Badenoch. Did you say former Nigerian? Yes, she doesn't want to associate with Nigeria. But she came to Nigeria recently. Let's help her. You can visit. You've been to America. You're an American. And I was shocked her accent changed. She wasn't sounding like she was from the UK. Well, they say when you're in Rome, you behave like she was like, hey, Tammy. You give to Caesar what belongs to Caesar. I saw that video. How recent was it? Do you think it was very recent? I think it's not too recent. But then again, it just showed that this is the person you think she is, but she's not. And back to the issue of the former Nigerian. I mean, she's... I don't like that word. She's disparaged Nigeria at any slight opportunity she gets. And you think Nigerians will have one slight thing. They don't even care if it's a poll. Just anything to put her in a negative light, they are very happy to celebrate her. And boy, it was celebrations galore. Even me, I was dancing in my own why would you do that? Yeah, because we're proudly Nigerians. I know we do have our issues, but don't throw Nigeria and Nigerians under the bus at every slight opportunity just to score points and impress your white conservative base. But like you said, it's a poll though, right? Yes. So it means that she could still turn things around in a few months to come. And then there will still be elections. So it doesn't mean that if she's still leader of the Conservative Party, that it's automatic premiership. And you can't go to court. You know, you don't like it to go to court. Yeah. The system is very solid. Not the same. So I guess with every day what they're doing is just checking as she leads the Conservative Party to see if this will be her road to 10 Downing Street, if she'll make it there. And I was looking forward to, seeing a black prime minister. We've had an Indian prime minister, Henry Seriake. We've had a Scottish prime minister, Gordon Brown, and we're looking forward to a Nigerian. But no, I don't think former Nigerian. Former Nigerian, yes. You see, Nigerian heritage. You know why I like us as Nigerians? When a Nigerian reaches the peak of either a career or a position and so on, you hear us, we quickly associate like, that's a Niger boy. I remember when Chinwetel Ejiofor won the BAFTA. BAFTA is British Actors Award. Film and Television Awards. The Enugu State government then, I remember, put up a full-page advertorial to celebrate. So Nigerians, we know how to celebrate our own. You know, if you're of Nigerian descent, if you're a Nigerian who's making waves abroad, although that has been applauded and criticized because it feels like they wait until certain people have gone abroad and blown.
What about the Nigerians that are banged up abroad, that are locked up? They won't let them out. Why don't you celebrate them?
Let them celebrate themselves.
Even in Nigeria, they won't celebrate them here.
Didn't they just grant them pardon? It's not no celebration.
But we're beautiful people, trust me. There's no country you go to in the world you'd find a Nigerian. They're every single place. You find a Nigerian everywhere. And because of our tenacity, our ability to keep going, we are restless. We always push the boundaries. Anywhere we go to, we try as much as possible. Unknowingly and knowingly, we dominate one way or the other.
Sports, look at the academic. Just look at the United States, for example.
Look at Ghana.
Professionals.
Look at Ghana. Ghanaians got tired recently and said, people have to leave, you know. It's just one thing in us. It's not our fault. It's just that that's how we are. But let's see what Nigerians are saying. Nigerians are saying something. Nigerians are reacting to Kemi's,
Trust me, I know situation. There won't be very positive things.
AICMC, Yemi Fash says, this is probably the first time I have felt the need to comment on UK politics. I already have more than enough going on in Nigeria as it is, but the Conservative Party's decision to vote against Kemi Badenoch, leading them into the next UK election, really caught my attention. Kemi's consistent display of hostility toward immigrants, despite having been one herself, has always been disappointing. It's one thing to have strong political views. It's another to completely disregard empathy and forget where you come from. Seeing her rejected by her own party feels like poetic justice. It's a reminder that integrity and self-awareness matter in leadership. Honestly, this is one piece of political news that feels quite satisfying.
I told you. I mean, Yemi Fashikwe just echoed my sentiments. Brilliant and well put together.
There's no iota of abuse.
Yeah, just very well, just straight to the point. And Oliver, I want to point. Can we go back to that tweet, please?
The former tweet.
Yes.
Yeah.
Can you see the AIMC there? It's a professional certification. Do you know what it means?
Please tell us.
Association of Check Your Mic.
I'm just joking. Whatever
oh my goodness.
It's just a joking stuff.
Please, don't mind doing that, please. Next one, quickly, let's see who else is talking. I mean, Kemi, will she get positive reviews? Let's go to the next.
Let's see.
Oh no, there are people that would say like that.
Anyway, Ed Jacob says, a sobering moment, not just politically, but culturally. Leadership is never guaranteed, but legacy is always shaped by how one carries their roots. Kemi Badenoch had a rare opportunity to show that a British stateswoman of Nigerian descent could lead with pride, not destroying her ethnicity. Instead, she often chose insult over dignity. In a world that still questions the worth of African heritage, kindness to one's origin isn't optional. It's strategic. It builds bridges, earns trust, and reframes narrative. Nigeria, with all its complexity, deserved more than a footnote in her accent. It says it deserved acknowledgement. It also nuance and grace. Now, it goes on to say this decision may be political, but the lesson is generational. Never trade your roots for proximity to power. Own them, elevate them, because when the tide turns, it's your identity, not your alliances, that will speak for you. Good riddance to bad rubbish.
Ed Jacobs, fantastic tweet there. And you know, the quality of the tweets we've been getting, I had to take a second look at that. So Nigerians can be this civilized.
Yeah, very civilized.
Informed.
I could have read that
and I like the lesson he said, like, just you don't have to trade your roots to please some people. Rishi Sunak is of Indian origin. You never hear him disparage Indian
The Indian people are not
exactly.
He never took
so I hope she's learned her lessons.
Yeah, right. Tomorrow now she's going to do another
she's coming back.
People don't even know what's going on.
Of how they stole
all right, let's go.
Computer village.
Let's go.
Of how they sold fufu for her in computer village instead of iPhone 17.
I don't know what craze is going on with that.
Ambassador John says Kemi Badenoch's rejection by her own party says a lot. For all her loud rhetoric and divisive politics, even her colleagues see through the performance. You can't lead a party when your brand thrives more on controversy than competence. Leadership is about unity, vision, and credibility, not just catchy speeches and headline moments. The Conservative Party might be a mess, but they're not blind enough to hand the future to someone who's more interested in personal ambition than genuine service.
These tweets are fantastic.
You know, I'm going to, when we publish this morning's Breakfast Central, I would send Kemi Badenoch the link I will at her on X and say, you know, madam,
please watch.
Riches and gold I have not for you, but please take a look at this. You might want to, this advice would help you your political journey. It will go a long way.
Okay.
Fantastic tweet.
And the next tweet regarding this, just so you know, Nigeria doesn't want her back either. So guys, relax. Let's just explain. This is an opinion poll. It doesn't mean she ceases to be the conservative leader. It does not mean her British nationality is taken away from her. And it does not mean that they're deporting her back to Nigeria.
Maybe he means it metaphorically, like the evangelists will say.
Well, so just to mention that she's not out of office. There are, however, short-term implications of this low opinion poll. Short-term implications meaning she may not be able to take them to the next level, to the sponsors within the party, if they see that there's popular dissent. And
it does something to her base psychologically too.
And I mean, just in terms of the support that she will get from within the party, from the financial backers of the party, there might be a reduction in that because they are getting the sense that there isn't public support.
Why would we invest in someone that is not likely going to...
Exactly. Anyway. However, the conservatives, I believe, are still keen on having stability because changing, which it's possible, but changing her now will give a sense of instability to the party. But then again,
anyway, farewell.
I wanted to say good riddance, but that wasn't my word. It was
but she might still, I mean, like you said, as long that she still has time to change things, so she might renew the hope of her base, the conservatives.
Be careful. Be careful. Let's go to our next story. Our next story has got to do with a new terrorist has emerged, and I'm sure you've heard of this. Well, if you haven't, well, it's titled, or it's called Wulowulo. Now, they've emerged in North Central. They're said to be...
Of which country?
They're said to be in Nigeria. They're said to be a splinter group of Boko Haram. So it's a new terrorist group. They call themselves Wulowulo. They've emerged in North Central Nigeria. You might be wondering why there's so much chaos, there's so much killings, fights, and so on happening, especially in the north, from the North Central. Well, these guys have come out to say, listen, we're new, and we're also going to shape into the system to cause more havoc. And while all of this is going on, our politicians are busy politicking, and everyone is doing a video and showing why they are decamping. Even the one who used to talk about common sense has now said that the common sense has led him to support the current administration. I mean, it's your decision. Nobody's saying you shouldn't. But we're just highlighting some of these recent issues that are happening within the society. But then again, that's the latest story. Just in case you do not know, there's a new terrorist group. They've come out, they've declared, they've mentioned, they've said that they are known as Wulowulo. But what are Nigerians saying on X concerning this? Because Nigerians, as it is, the North is not done dealing with a lot of insurgencies. ISWAP, Boko Haram, the new one, Lakurawa, and now you have
Wulowulo.
And before you know, you have another splinter group coming out from Wulowulo and so on.
Not. Yeah. And I'm sure the defense headquarters, hopefully, before they even raise their ugly head to cause havoc, because we've been seeing lots of incidents in North Central states, Kogi and Kwara State recently. Maybe it's the activities of Wulowulo, but they should decimate them before they can cause any more havoc.
Especially Kwara. Yeah. Especially Kwara. Kwara used to be very peaceful, but now everybody is holding their breath, especially if you're moving around Kwara State. But let's see what Nigerians are saying very quickly on this one, particularly concerning Wulowulo. Edula says, Shebi, then they negotiate. What do they think will happen? What do they think will happen? This is exactly why the world, excluding, he uses the word excluding Nigeria, does not negotiate with terrorists. More splinter groups will emerge for their own deal, and I said it as well. It's going to happen. It's normal. It's just
because when you negotiate,
if I can get my share, it's like kidnapping.
Yeah, you're giving it some form of legitimacy, and others will want to buy into that franchise and say, you know, this is lucrative.
When Evans Evans showed the world that Nigerians are the kidnapping business, and I don't know if I should also blame the media, for having promoted Evans's nefarious acts to the public, and they turned it into a series. Because everybody who kept watching kept feeling like, wow, this guy is so big during kidnapping, then I should go. Anyway,
Yeah.
just my thoughts. Next tweet, let's see what Nigerians are saying concerning Wulowulo. She terrorist groups never plenty past Redeemed Church. Chi, calm down. Calm down. Next tweet, let's see, quickly. Whose job description is it to always go and get the names of these groups and tell us? Or do they tell their victims their names? Well, just to respond to that, Owambe, what they do is they put out a statement themselves. They either tell the villages, they write to them, they announce it, or the ones that...
Because I was wondering if they went to Corporate Affairs Commission to register their name.
I mean, after that,
they did a press conference.
They did most likely a press conference. You know, they negotiated.
But I mean, you won't put it beyond them, because in Katsina State they had a town hall. Yes.
Well, they are very welcome. If you live in Kwara, your life is in your hands. You depend on Nigerian Army at your own risk. Nah,
that's not a very. That's not a tweet that inspires confidence in residents of Kwara.
But shouldn't we have seen a counter statement, either from the security operatives or from the presidency, stating that we are aware?
Hopefully,
especially from the
because the speed at which this information came out, you expect. But they have regular briefings, defense headquarters, so maybe this will be part of their agenda when journalists go to...
What about to inspire confidence? Citizens' confidence?
We need it to be as quickly as possible. So let's see and wait if there will be a response. Then again, you don't even want to acknowledge them and give them more popularity. That's the flip side of it. Because... yes.
So it's not about giving them popularity, it's reporting what it is.
They're wreaking havoc. In as much as you want to belittle them, they're still wreaking havoc. I mean, see what they've done to Kwara. Kwara, very peaceful, a place where people would go to. Now it's inhabitable, especially some parts we hear. People are being kidnapped on the roads. We did see videos that were circulating online of people being killed in Kwara State. And then you wonder that, okay, it's a case of saying maybe we're belittling what they could do. But now they've come out with their full chest to say, listen,
so
we're no longer in hiding.
It's about time you address this. Exactly.
So I'm expecting that the NSA, already they are burdened with a lot to deal with. You're dealing with the north, you're dealing with the southeast, you're dealing with the north central. So I think it's high time they used to be someone from the Nigerian army, the spokesperson who retired eventually. The guy used to wear the dark shades. I can't remember his name. At some point I've written down.
You still have
would always have the press
director of defense information. They still have those regular press conferences, and defense correspondents go there every other day to hear the latest.
And you know what's sad? While we as a nation are dealing with the harsh effects of insecurity, where citizens can't guarantee that if they go to sleep, they'll wake up in their homes and they'll wake up at all, in certain parts of the country. Unfortunately, politics is politicking, and senators are throwing their rings behind their political parties. Governors are pledging allegiance to the center. The latest in terms of, I mean, this one is a slightly different one from what we typically see. What we've been seeing lately are governors and political leaders moving to the All Progressives Congress, stating that they are aligning with the center, moving typically from PDP to the APC. This time around, Senator Seriake Dickson, the former governor of Bayelsa State, has reaffirmed loyalty to the People's Democratic Party and has faulted the governor of Bayelsa State's defection, that's Tory. Let's take a look at this video. We'll come back and share our thoughts.
The governor consulted me several times to his credit. And I was not convinced because I didn't see any compelling reason for a second-term governor to defect. We know the issues in the PDP, but issues are there to be solved by the governors and the leaders. Have they not been the leaders of the parties? Democracy without opposition ceases to be democracy. It becomes dictatorship from that day. Position does not mean you have to be fighting. You have to be, here am I, supporting the president's nomination. I know there are people who say a president who is partisan should not have that power, but that is not the law as it is. That is the law as it ought to be.
Well, I mean, who's in a better position to speak about this than someone who's been a two-term governor himself and a current senator. And I do have to agree with the former governor of Bayelsa State there, Senator Seriake Dickson, on the position, his reaction to the governor of Bayelsa State, Governor Tory, defecting to the ruling APC. He's a second-term governor. Maybe in the next 2 years, he's plugged into the central nervous system in Abuja, as they always say. Who knows what dividends that could bring to the good people of Bayelsa State. But, I mean, in his wisdom, he made the decision. He said, you know, the crisis in the PDP, they're too much for me to deal with. So I better move to a more peaceful political party. But it would be nice to hear reactions from you guys.
Well, for me, it's basically saying that this is your second term. It means after you're done, you're done. So why are you moving? But there's one question everybody's not asking.
Why are you running?
There's one question everybody, I mean, people are not asking. What is making them move?
Well, what is
Aside
making them
from what
move?
we know in PDP,
Okay.
in this array, what is making everybody now?
I think it's the obvious.
Alignment.
Yes,
Which kind of
alignment of the
Balancing
center.
Is it your
alignment.
car? You want to balance the tire?
It's opportunism, because our politics is not
One,
run on ideology.
I agree.
It's run on
Opportunism.
opportunism, with people trying to align themselves with those. It's basically what we tease people about in Lagos, for example.
the source is
those
coming
that are
from.
doing social climbing, that they only hang out with certain people because they feel like you can elevate their status. So right now it looks like APC is, in your words, the latest bride.
Or Man City fans in football. You know, which day did what history does Man City have? And people that used to support Arsenal and Chelsea in the past, like I say, I'm a Man City fan, just because they're winning. Everybody, there's a propensity for people to join the winning team.
What does that do to democracy in
It
itself?
erodes our democracy. It leaves, because there won't be debate and challenges and opposition. When you have a viable opposition, it keeps the ruling party in check. They are on their toes. They know they have to deliver, because at the next polls, they will suffer. But if you have a situation where everybody's okay with it, then you'll be satisfied with mediocrity. There's no one is challenging you. So
That challenging part is where I have an issue with, because if we move to the point where everyone just aligns themselves with one party, what the implication of that is that the time will come when there will be actions that will go unchallenged. When we talk about separation of powers, checks and balances, it's there for a reason. So that power is not concentrated in one source. It's not concentrated in one arm of government. It's not concentrated in one political party. Active opposition is a huge, important part of democracy, or maintaining our democracy. And the more we see people aligning with the center, the lesser the chances of us having people who will speak up against certain actions because you have to align with your political party. Again, there are constitutional provisions that should prevent you from getting into power with one political vehicle and on getting there leave.
But
when you leave,
because the brain box is
you should be
bad.
able to.
It's not absolute. It says if there's a crisis in your party.
So that's the problem.
So they've used
so
that
it's
crisis
vague. How
as
do
a
we
reason.
determine what crisis
crisis?
is? Right? It's
So it's
very
vague.
vague. The interpretation and the enforcement of that is very vague, because it's what happened in River State when all the 21 lawmakers jumped ship and did their resignation, said there was disarray in their party, waiting for them to later come back. If we do not resolve this will be the norm. It felt like all of those were just like test running
And it
to
will
see
make
the
a mockery of
implication
our
of that.
democracy.
It really already is. But let's see what Nigerians are saying about that. There have been defections. There's the likes of Ben Bruce as well, who have also
Common
talked
sense
about
senator.
defection. The common sense senator, if we have his tweets, let's share his tweets. You know that there have been many defections. There's Bayelsa Governor Doyediri, Peter Mba, we talked about him yesterday. He's defected to the APC.
The warrior of many colors.
Akwa Ibom
of
Governor
many logos,
has
sorry.
defected.
Umoino also warned his people, if you don't move.
Yes, you know, and the Delta State
Threat.
Governor as well, Sheriff Oboroweri, defected weeks back. So every day we're seeing fresh
I
defection.
think he opened the floodgates for the South and Southeast defection.
And by now, in case you do not know as well, if you're watching us, 2/3 of the National Assembly is APC.
Oh, wow. So it's not
Two-thirds.
just the governors.
No,
moving.
even in the National Assembly, 2/3, which means that you barely have hanging fruits of other political parties.
Wow.
I mean, people
So
like Ireti
is there anyone?
Senator Ireti Kigibe, I wonder if she's going to move.
So out of 109 senators in the Senate, the 103 are members of the APC. No,
You have
77.
73. And there's a statement that by next week you have more that will move.
Wait, so the entire Southeast now, apart from Soludo?
Apart from Anambra, which is Abga.
Okay, Alex Oti.
There's also Alex Oti, who still remains with the Labour. Am I right? Yeah. And then you also have, pretty much.
And while you're thinking of Southeast, I'm also thinking of South-South. Because at the time we had everybody in, except there were just 2 states in the South-South that hadn't yet moved to the APC. One of them would be Rivers State. Rivers. Even though now
Rivers.
that Rivers State not having moved to the APC is a bit.
Before, are you sure the form
allegedly APC clothing?
Allegedly, they say the form of the transfer window has been provided, and the player is ready to release his kit.
Yes, unveiling.
And he's unveiling.
Okay, let's see what Nigerians are saying
Before
about
we
that.
get to what Nigerians are saying, let's also, it's very important to stress that those that have not defected, that are still wearing the toga of their political parties, have openly, some of them, because we have some of those players that have openly endorsed Mr. President for 2027. One of them is Soludo. He has endorsed President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. And another one is the dancing governor in Osun State, Governor Jackson Adeleke.
Unfortunately,
Ademola Jackson.
I mean, these are the things we have.
Okay, I didn't know. Sorry.
Well, anyway, we have the speculations as well about the ones that will go next. We're not sure.
Taraba and Jos. And the Jos man, Governor Mutrang, said he's getting an application form to officially apply for the First Lady, Senator Oluremi Tinubu, to be his mother.
I saw that.
So that's another kind of, that's a family defection.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's take, we can just take, I think, one or two tweets. Let's take one or two, and then we'll have to move on. On X, that's massive. That's
complete it now.
That's massive, baby. It's true.
You didn't say baby. I don't know. You got yours.
I used to hear them say that.
You love it.
Governor Diri and 23 assembly members dumping the PDP isn't just defection. It's a political earthquake in Bayelsa. Is Tinubu gradually turning Nigeria into a one-party state? Because this pattern is starting to look all too familiar.
Yeah. All right. Let's see another one quickly. Bayelsa cruise merchant. Okay. Governor Diri has no compelling reason to decamp to the APC. He's a second-term governor who can conveniently muscle his way into the Senate in 2027. I don't want to believe that it's because of money. This move is very unnecessary. That's what he says.
Must he go to the Senate? Is he a retirement home?
Exactly. Mike says, the PDP just lost 24 members in one day. At this rate, the party's membership drive should include a
how fast can you run test?
Ekun Khan says, some of you think a one-party country is a good thing, and having no opposition is good politics. Nigerians will learn the hard way by the time the new policies come, and there's nobody to defend them. Well, final one. Okori Gift says, my main question is, what is the main reason why all the governors are decamping to the APC? Because I did the country. What in Tinubu they do when I know they see? I need explanations for the cross-carpeting to the ruling party.
Well, Gift, if you ask us now, who we go ask? And just to quickly wrap up with YouTube, Idris Onifade in response, and Mokwe Chukwemeka have dropped their comments as well. Idris Onifade says, Kemi is a typical Nigerian politician who does everything to remain in power, just like the decamping PDP governors. He's using one stone to...
If she hears that, she won't be
comment on all these.
And I can only take one more. Mokwe Chukwemeka, how these terrorist groups emerge without the DSS knowing is alarming. It's sad. So please feel free to comment on these stories or anything on YouTube, and during the course of the show, we'll be picking your comments. Let's now share with you what our top stories are on Breakfast Central.